What is going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today, once again, I want to talk about something that is fairly controversial inside the Destiny community, and I know that people will have some very strong opinions. Before we get going, I would like to say that I definitely want to hear your opinions and ideas in the comments below, but keep them civil. I will be watching the comment section and be using your thoughts to inform my opinion moving forward, and may even make a follow-up video based on them. But hate, insults, and non-constructive criticism will not be tolerated. I welcome discourse, but I won't be intimidated. And I won't be kept from bringing up controversial topics in the future. So if you're a jerk in the comments, understand I will be deleting what I feel is inflammatory speech. This is not a democracy, it's my channel, and I want it to be a constructive and friendly place for people to voice their ideas. All right, now on to the topic at hand. In September 2015, with the launch of the Taken King, Bungie gave players a new way to obtain exotics. 3 of coins could be purchased from Xur and used to greatly enhance your chances of obtaining an exotic engram from many activities in-game. Many strike bosses, named enemies in patrol or raids, and even the completion of a Crucible match granted a chance to have an exotic engram drop, provided the player had used the 3 of coins. Shortly after the release of the Taken King, Bungie saw us as players using 3 of coins and farming low-end named enemies, and somewhat nerfed their effectiveness by adding a cooldown to how frequently a 3 of coins could drop an exotic, and seemingly lowering the chance of the use of each 3 of coins, resulting in a dropped exotic engram. This was a huge change from the way exotics were awarded in year 1. Previously, there were some exotics that could be obtained through an exotic quest like Super Good Advice or Thorn, but most exotics were found by players in raid chests as endgame rewards for Nightfalls, and very occasionally after Crucible matches. Oh, and of course, Xur would sell a small selection of them every weekend. Some players really liked this new way of obtaining exotics, especially players who did not have an unlimited amount of time to raid or run Nightfalls each week. In year 1, it could be ridiculously frustrating for players searching for that one exotic weapon or armor piece that they needed. The Gjallarhorn was famous for this. It had an extraordinarily low drop rate, was probably the most powerful PvE weapon in the game, and players would actually exclude other players from their raid groups if they did not have one. This is one of the reasons that Gjallarhorn had so much hype around it. Obtaining one not only obviously unlocked the weapon for you, but also unlocked activities that you were not allowed to participate in because so many raid groups on LFG sites said, must have Gjallarhorn. So it was hard to get, and you were artificially locked out of more chances to get one because you didn't have one. 3 of coins solved this issue. In year 2, all exotics could be obtained either by a quest line or by buying 3 of coins and using them in any activity you wanted to play. It erased the must-have Gjallarhorn elitism, although arguably there is no exotic in year 2 that is nearly as game-changing as the G-Horn was in year 1. Strange coins also added relevancy to Xur's weekly trips to the tower. Vanilla Destiny players often found that throughout year 1, week after week, Xur never sold that one exotic they were still searching for. Now he sells strange coins, giving players another chance at obtaining those exotics. It makes for a more useful Xur, and the 9 appreciate it. Similarly, 3 of coins added usefulness to strange coins. Going into the Taken King, I had well over 1,000 strange coins, and I know other players who had far more than that. 3 of coins gave us another way to use them. But the biggest effect that 3 of coins had on Destiny, in my opinion, was they added loot relevancy to nearly every activity in Destiny. What I mean by this is no matter how you want to play Destiny, you could obtain the exotics that you were after. Sure, Some of them are still locked behind quests, but for the ones in the general loot pool, you could earn them by playing the game however you wanted. Crucible only player, no problem. Just like to run strikes, no problem. Given enough time and enough strange coins, you would get the exotics eventually. But that's also kind of the problem, isn't it? By adding the chance to get a supercell or a Twilight Garrison to every activity, they reduce the rewards and drive to compete in endgame activities, which until year 2 were our primary resource for exotics. Every year 1 player can tell you that Nightfall strikes are not nearly as compelling as they were in year 1. Now, there are several reasons for that not associated with loot, but loot is definitely one of them. In year 1, I, like many players, ran the Nightfall on every character every week. Yes, some weeks I did it for the challenge, but every week I did it hoping that that last exotic that I was still missing would finally drop. Same goes for raids. In the Vault of Glass, opening an exotic chest was a ceremony. It was exciting. Crota's End changed the way loot was doled out, but there was no less anticipation leading up to seeing those rewards. In King's Fall, there is an exotic chest which players just casually open on their way past. And not only does the 3 of Coins system lessen our drive to complete endgame activities, it has also lessened our excitement in actually obtaining the exotics themselves. In year 1, after our particularly harrowing fight in the Devil's Lair, finally finishing off Sepix Prime and watching the Nightfall rewards pop up, I screamed. I finally got the Monte Carlo and I was pumped. This happened in August. I was still excited to get a weapon that most would consider mediocre in August. I believe 3 of Coins has robbed that experience from players in year 2. I don't remember which boss I defeated to obtain 90% of my exotics in year 2. Why? Because there was no struggle. It wasn't the reward from a battle hard fought. I was just farming some named enemy and decrypting engrams in the tower. So in the end, I'm actually torn on this problem. I definitely like that players don't feel left out of raids or endgame activities just because they weren't lucky enough to get a specific exotic. However, I don't like that 3 of Coins have made endgame activities and exotics themselves feel less special. So that's where I'm going to call on you guys. What do you think of 3 of Coins? Is it even an issue? Do you want to see them taken out of Destiny? Should loot rewards go back to how they worked in year 1? Or do we need a brand new system? Let me know what you think in the comments below. My guess is we'll definitely be revisiting this topic. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.